And not to mention, I mean, just the partners and connections we have, being able to consult on those boards, being part of planning committees for events, and just always bringing that fresh idea. I mean, I think that if you talk to any of the nonprofits we worked with, they would always say we would come to the table with just great ideas, and say, hey, why don't y'all do this? It'd be something brand new, or ways that they can monetize and make money and scale their business or their nonprofit. I mean, there's a lot of advice there. But then on top of that, just driving, I see our responsibility at White Spider, because we've been so connected in the community. Like, we have a responsibility to drive people getting together. Thank you, Chris D. Clerk.
I know.
You're already lip syncing the lyrics.
Because it's a
great song.
I know.
He's a great musician.
He is. He's awesome. Chris D. Clerk.
Chris D. Clerk.
Google it.
Yep.
All right.
Arkansas native.
Yes. But anyway, hello and welcome. This is our. It's not really white label advice today. No. It's more like a community spotlight, and just more like me and Eric just hanging out, chatting, talking about
the most important thing.
The most important thing in the world,
yeah.
Which is community outreach.
Yes.
And why it is important to WhyteSpyder. So, WhyteSpyder's been around for over 10 years now,
yep.
Which is crazy to say.
It's great.
And I've been here for almost 8 of those 10 years.
That's kind of, okay. No comment.
We're just going to leave that one there.
No comment.
But in that 10-year, WhyteSpyder's always really been involved in the community, giving back, donating their time and efforts into supporting different charities. And so why did WhyteSpyder start doing charity work right out of the gate when they were still just a wee baby startup?
Well, we always, in all honesty, for me personally, born and raised in Arkansas, right? Moved to Northwest Arkansas back in around 2000. I think it's helping out your community. I think that, heck, Sam Walton taught us that, one of those big values, and live those out into where you help the community and the community supports you, and we all support each other, and that's how communities grow. That's how, if you look at Northwest Arkansas, you can back it all the way up to some really incredible leaders that supported the community and built it. Starting with the Lions Club and Rotary and all that type of stuff. And then it's just, we're fortunate in an area where there's a lot of community related nonprofits that are doing all kinds of stuff, from helping kids to, battered women's shelter, all types of things that are just, incredible initiatives. And so, I think we always had it in our blood, I guess, in the culture at WhyteSpyder, the individuals that are just working here, living here. Of course, we were headquartered here, we're founded here, Northwest Arkansas. So everybody that was coming to work for us was already embedded in the community, and we all just kind of champion and wave the flag of, hey, let's help out other folks. And, I think that, when you look at nonprofits, it's not an easy task. A lot of these nonprofits start with a mission from from an individual that faced a challenge that really, changed their life in many ways. And so they start out, they have a passion and a vision in a nonprofit world, which I would say is probably, can be a little bit more challenging in a lot of ways versus a for-profit. But they have the same constraints of budgetary constraints and time constraints and talents and things. And we found ourselves really quickly at WhyteSpyder with our original, with our mission, our talents that were coming in with the web development to the content management to, all the things that we started out with that, that were just very needed resources at nonprofits. And so instead of them paying like an agency or coming to us and saying, hey, we're going to charge you $10,000 a month to tap into our resources while we're trying to build our business, we would actually just gift that time and sit on the boards and help consult and advise about one of the more important things in any business, which is communications and marketing and getting the word out. And, I look back and I couldn't be more just proud of the commitment we made to a lot of these nonprofits in the area. We literally have developed everything from websites to email marketing campaigns to systems to videos, which
Lots of
you did a lot.
videos. We've done events like fundraisers.
Yeah, we started Bago and Brisket.
Oh my goodness! Yep.
God,
I'm just
you
ruining
ruined the
everything
podcast
again.
But we started Bago and Brisket, which took off, and we did that for a number of years. We would cornhole. We started
Still
that,
going
which
on.
is still going on,
Mercy,
and
yeah.
we actually ended up giving that to Mercy Health Foundation a few years ago, and but I mean, even those just sparking engagement in the community, driving awareness, and helping them with internal stuff to just putting on events, and it was kind of a unique, I would say, initiative with Bagel and Brisket and Cornhole, especially because we would literally put on that entire event with all of our human resource power and all of our marketing experience, and we put on some really successful events. And I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I think that Catfish, Corn Dogs, and Cornhole is the largest cornhole tournament in the United States. That's probably not part of some the national league organization.
Yeah, it was definitely.
And it delivers, and I think the thing that we always saw that value, like there's obviously a lot of, I mean, we're not the only ones. I mean, what's beautiful about Northwest Arkansas is you have the brands and the suppliers and Walmart and JB Hunt, all the companies and individuals all across that. I mean, our community is just very community oriented and supportive. Walton Foundation, I mean, incredible. And so we obviously, being a small business, and especially in the beginning and growing, we couldn't contribute the capital needed, but we did find that there was something just as important. I mean, bringing in that expertise of communication, having the energy and the culture at our company, which was just small and invigorating and fun, and being able to have that energy to put on events and stick it all the way through from the beginning to the end. From hey, we got an idea to raise money to we actually finalize that.
And you get the big paper check.
Yeah, and then I mean, the check may not be huge. I mean, it may be huge in size.
It's huge in size.
Well,
Yeah.
we would do that.
We definitely would do that.
But the money behind it may not have been massive and changed the organization. But I can confidently say that we spread the word, which is, who knows what kind of impact that made for those organizations. And, I think all the people on our team from the dawn of time at White Spider that, sat outside and would sweat in the sun, registering people for cornhole tournaments.
Yes. I was one of those people.
You were. I was too.
Yeah.
I remember doing a few, the first few times. I mean, I remember coming home after one of the bigger cornhole tournaments and going, man, I don't know if I can handle this anymore.
No, it was so exhausting.
I'm in my mid-30s now.
Yeah. There was one, I remember the one we did in July, and it was like, we ran out of water.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I remember coming home from the first one we did with Collective Bias.
Yeah.
So we would partner with other agencies.
That was my first. I was my first week.
That's what a great week. Because I'm telling you, man, we were out there throwing those cornhole bags and just in this hot sun at Collective Bias's office, and it made sense because we had an asphalt, to keep us dry in case it rained and it wouldn't too. But that thing just soaked in that sun, so freaking hot in middle of June, and I remember and we were unloading 40, 50 cornhole boards, which are not light. Nothing was easy about it. I mean, of course, we weren't an organized cornhole professional. We didn't have our own trucks.
And it went 2 hours late.
Oh, gosh. It was
so fun. But you know what? People loved it, though. They came up at the end and they said, hey, you guys kept it. You guys did a good job. And we were thank you.
Well,
and went to bed.
Us in Collective Bias put all of our all of our human resource power and just worked the entire tournament, cooking catfish and sweating. And I remember after loading up everything and getting home, I literally jumped in my pool. I had a pool at that time, and I fell into it.
It's oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh! Please cool my body down. I'm sorry. I just kind of.
We'll disinfect the mic after that.
Can you slow it down and zoom in on that?
Be
that
zoom
spit
in. It's just gonna come
face when I was talking so fast.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
But all right, just a couple more questions. But we've done a lot in the past. How did the pandemic affect our community outreach?
I mean, in all honesty, it affected, I think, the nonprofit community in general. I mean, I think that we still could have done more, but everybody kind of went silent.
Yeah.
Especially those first 6 months. I mean, it was, people just didn't know what to do. And so, we could have attached to a nonprofit to help them, but I don't even know that they would have known what to do. And then they really needed to adapt and focus their attention on how do we take all these physical events and turn them into virtual. And they really just needed to spend all their entire time talking to Zoom and On24 and whoever else can have those. We don't have those platforms.
No, we don't.
Right? Yeah. They had to like dive in and learn how to make these virtual events
fun virtual event. God bless everybody that did that.
God bless everybody. I mean, yeah, because it was. I mean, and some did really well with it. You know, but now that things are kind of, we're all becoming human again in a way. It's been fun. We've been able to, like, even this. I mean, on our marketing team, just really engaged, and I'm so stoked out about this year. Like, it's invigorating to know that not only are you making an impact with the company, with the people within the company, but we know that everything that we're aligned to and doing is making an impact that's bigger than us for our area, which creates jobs, creates funds for people in need. It creates all these initiatives, and you get to be around great people. So I mean, it's multifaceted as to why our community involvement is beneficial to White Spider and why it's important. Yep. I mean, I don't see it ever ending.
Yeah, that's good, because it goes to my next question.
Okay.
Is what are the plans for the future?
Just keep on keeping on. I mean, if we can, I think that, with the change of just over our adaptability and our evolution at WhyteSpyder's becoming very niched within the, the Walmart space, for the last many years, I mean, we don't do like web development anymore. We don't do a lot of those things that I think are resources necessarily needed for nonprofits. Now, we don't execute those like we used to and had people on our team that do that, but we definitely still contain that knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I think that what I hope is that we can be, participate in more consultation type board work with some of these nonprofits. Like, I mean, just being able to help them think about new innovative ways, because we're definitely in an innovative industry. Like, we're definitely on tap as understanding what customers or people are doing and behaving online, even though it is in the retail space. But I've just talked to somebody the other day. It used to be that your typical web navigation would translate over to e-commerce, but now it's kind of flip-flop. Like, because e-commerce or commerce in general digitally is really what a lot of people are doing. That's starting to drive the UX of just how people in general might behave on how they search and navigate and expect from all organizations in the digital space. And we can provide some pretty strong advice to that. And not to mention, I mean, just the partners and connections we have, being able to consult on those boards, being part of planning committees for events, and just always bringing that fresh idea. I mean, I think that if you talk to any of the nonprofits we worked with, they would always say we would come to the table with just great ideas, and say, hey, why don't y'all do this? It'd be something brand new, or ways that they can monetize and make money and scale their business or their nonprofit. I mean, there's a lot of advice there. But then on top of that, just driving, I see our responsibility at WhyteSpyder, because we've been so connected in the community. Like, we have a responsibility to drive people getting together. And that's one of the key visions that, at least that I'm seeing, is like, we're the ones that basically call the party. Mm-hmm. I mean,
you're very good at that.
And I'll tell you, like, it sounds fun and silly, but it is the hardest part of the work. Like, I mean, like to invite, like, if you had a birthday party at your house for your son, right? You know how much work that takes.
I do. We do it all the time.
You do. I mean,
make the cake,
calling the parent, make all this.
Gotta get the
details.
barbecue. Gotta,
It's hard work, and so that's what we do. Though we do it well. We know how to get people together and hopefully get people to interact. And it's been, since the COVID stuff, I mean, we've noticed. We've talked about this a lot. But like, people are kind of, I really want to RSVP, but I don't.
Yeah.
I did RSVP. I'm at the end. I'm a little shy to come because it's just weird to see human beings again.
Yeah.
That's not your
it's
spouse
fine.
and
Come
kids.
on out. It's fine.
But yeah, we're breaking that ice, and I think that we have a high order at WhyteSpyder to help the community, as one of the companies that are helping the community to break the ice and get together and hey man, let's keep driving. I mean, keep stepping forward. Yep.
And I think we're really lucky because we have, even though we're not in that in that startup phase anymore, and we have a really awesome parent. Company and Essential, they really push us to do this, and it aligns with their big vision too. So I think we're really lucky to to have these people around.
Yeah, I mean, just, what it comes down to. I mean, it's as simple, and it's not meaning to be cliche, but it's just good people around good people. And, I mean, we have a culture of that. Northwest Arkansas has a culture of that. Essential has a culture of that. I mean, just no one wants to work or be around just people that are not
always working.
Well, it's not that they're always working, but they have, they're doing things. They have a bigger mission in life, right? And it's more. It's not just all. It's not about the spreadsheet. It's about the human, the emotional side of things, and that's what we're supported with Essential. That's who the suppliers in the supplier community is. That's who Walmart and Hunt and Tyson are. I mean, it's really an amazing thing, and we're going to continue to spearhead that vision. I mean, I think it's our responsibility at our level compared to, the largest of the largest and the new startups, to be the ones that kind of continue to push that vision of just of being good and doing good and without touting it, but at the same, just kind of continue to practice it. I mean, it makes for a really good life. I mean, I know I'm blessed and happy, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah. I don't know if you are.
Always. We love it.
Yeah, we do, but it makes it fun. We have a fun culture. It's everything. I mean, everyone's responsible for the culture.
That's why I moved here almost 20 years ago. I told myself I was only going to be here for three years.
Hey, that happens a lot,
20
right?
years later, here I am still, because Northwest Arkansas is an amazing place.
I hear that with the Walmart folks, supplier. I mean, people that relocate, they're like, if they get here and they start realizing just like, hey, man, I mean, it's a great culture. Yeah. And there's something about it, and so we have a responsibility to continue going on. All right, Brooke, I gotta go. I got stuff.
I know you're such a busy guy. All right, go and save
the
world.
Thank you. All right,
bye.
thanks.